ISSA is your Worldwide Cleaning Industry Association, and one main focus we have is with certification. Today, we're going to focus on one of our team members at ISSA that works with the Cleaning Industry Management Standard, also known as CIMS. And many of us may not know what CIMS is, but we're going to figure that out with Nancy Viazzi, the CIMS Account Executive at ISSA. Nancy, welcome to the program.
Thanks so much, Jeff. I'm glad to be here and thrilled to be part of the association.
Yeah. So Nancy, you're fairly new at ISSA, so welcome aboard and glad to have you and to take care of a very important part of ISSA, the CIMS program. We'll get into what that is in a little bit, but why don't you tell us, how did Nancy get here? What was your journey?
So prior to my employment here, I was working in healthcare, traveling a lot, and the pandemic changed that model. I was in 5 states in a hospital every day working for a textile company. Working very closely with the environmental service team in most hospitals. And so I believe I had kind of this idea and push for learning more about how we clean, because I was faced with it every day. And shortly after the pandemic, I got talking to an old friend, Branton Sero, who I work with in the education department. And he looked like he loved his job. And I said, "What do you do?" And he shared with me, and it just so happened an opening was coming, and I was fortunate enough to land this job, and I'm thrilled to be here.
I'm going to go on record and say, I don't know if I could work for Brant. No, I'm kidding.
What a great team we have in Albany in the education department across the board.
If Brant sees this, I'll have to buy him a beer down the road somewhere. But no, Nancy, thank you for being part of the team. What is it that you do with ISSA? You know, it's the CIMS program is your focus.
The CIMS is my focus. Of course, I like to say, from what I've learned thus far in the Albany office, we are quite a team under education, with Brant leading that team. And that team has been more than welcoming to me. And I'm learning something new every single day, whether it be just through CIMS. And thank you for sharing what that is, the Cleaning Industry Management Standards, because often people say CIMS is what? And then along with the other things that go on in our office. So I do take care of recertifications and new certifications for many different companies, partnering and helping them along through the process, as well as with our third-party assessors.
Okay, we need to dig into that, because
dig into it.
We CIMS, I get it, but it took me a while. It's so important. It's such an important program. So if someone were to call you on the phone and ask you, Nancy, what is CIMS? What would you tell them? What does it do?
Well, first, I would say I get a lot of why CIMS. And oftentimes we have customers that come to us because CIMS may be required for them by a company that they're trying to work for or bid on, right? So the Cleaning Industry Management Standard is the first consensus-based management standard that outlines the characteristics of a successful quality cleaning organization. And that's a mouthful, but it's very important. But I always say CIMS is going to do so much more than just grant you a certification after your assessment. It's going to challenge a business to really dig in to see what they're all about, how their operations run, where do they stand against their competitors. And it's really going to challenge them to be better business and to affect their bottom line overall.
So you're saying if I was a building service contractor trying to make it work, that calling you, emailing you, talking about CIMS, and then joining that, getting that done would benefit me?
Absolutely. And again, it's going to hit on certain areas like service development, health and safety, environmental, quality control, management systems. It goes so deep. And it is a very thorough assessment that these companies go through, and can seem almost overwhelming at first, but we always say, we're here to partner with you. We're here to work you through this process. And the assessors themselves are very, very knowledgeable. And they can come out of it saying, we are proud to put that logo on our company now because we are confident that we have gone through the strategic training and certification with a third-party assessor, and that deems us very, very desirable in the market.
Mm-hmm. So for the short time you've been at ISSA, you've really picked up on what it's all about. And I like what you've said, especially the hand-holding part, because, you know, someone watching this might go, that sounds like a lot of work and I don't do some of that stuff. Well, if you promise you're going to help with that and the assessors are going to help with that, that's a big deal.
Well, I feel very strongly about partnership and
Mhm.
community, which I believe the association is so much about too, which I love. And it is about partnering and relationships and communication and working through things together. And I think just overall at ISSA, we give that to so many companies.
Yeah. So obviously important to the industry, the CIMS program. Tell us about what you like most about this. You know, the role you have now. What do you like?
I love what I do now. Every single day, I'm learning something new because I'm talking to a different person. And again, I'll go back to, it can seem like just a certification, but it's so much more. We start to learn about one another. We start to learn about the challenges. I learn from the customer every day and vice versa. So I just love the diversity and people all over the country. So it's been wonderful.
Yeah. Let's say you are at ISSA Show North America and you're put on the spot, Nancy. You're put on the stage and you're told to say something to the audience about CIMS. What would that be?
Don't hesitate. Get after it. Be the one that says, I'm going to accept this challenge and I'm going to be a better company for it.
Simple, powerful. Thank you.
Yeah.
Let's pivot to your personal life a little bit. Tell us where you're from, your family, what you'd like to share there.
I'm from born and raised upstate New York, right outside of Albany. Mother of three, grandma, quote, Nona, to 3 beautiful grandchildren and 1 on the way shortly here in June. Yeah, I mean, that's it in a nutshell.
Okay, what about hobbies? What do you do for fun?
So I love it. People often say, Nancy, ocean or mountains, and I love both. So I have my kids who live in Florida, and then I have a house up in the lakes in the Adirondacks. So I love to hike. I love to read, but most of all, I love to be with my family.
Yeah.
Sounds cliche, but it's the truth.
No, it is the truth. And you mentioned you're not grandma. You're what?
I'm Nona.
Nona.
Italian for grandma. Yes.
Okay. So my wife is Ai, and I am
Oh,
Bob. So
okay.
non-traditional names. It happens. Yeah, the grandkids are great, and sounds like you're proud of yours.
They're wonderful.
Let's talk. Let me ask a kind of a weird question. Growing up, what did you want to do? Are you where you wanted to be?
I wanted to be a school teacher. But you know what? I feel like along the way, although I may not have that label, I have been a teacher. I pride myself in being a leader. So in every job I've ever had, at some point I've been able to help and encourage and teach. So I hope to do that here at ISSA as well.
Yeah, you know, any contractor that calls you and asks for help, that's what you're going to do. Now, of course, you're going to help them with certification, but it's about education. It's about helping others.
Yes.
And that's what teaching is, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
All right, let's wrap it up with this last question. Talk about your goals, dreams, and ambitions. Or have we already covered it?
We have not covered it. So my goals, professionally or personally?
Yeah, whatever. It is your minute.
So, okay. So in my minute, so professionally, like I said, to just increase my knowledge at my job every day and to do what I do very well. Personally, to retire one day and be near those grandkids.
That's a
simple.
That's a good wish for sure.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, Nancy Viazzi, the CIMS Account Executive at ISSA. Keep up the good work. And anyone who needs help with their CIMS certification, questions, anything, you're there for them?
I'm there. Reach out.
All right.